In Dr. Sidney Ruffleberg's old decaying mansion, a boy and his dog stumble upon a mysterious machine. By sheer accident, they are propelled into Evermore, a one-time utopia that now has become a confounding and deadly world. A prehistoric jungle, ancient civilizations, medieval kingdoms, and futuristic cities. During his odyssey, the boy must master a variety of weapons, learn to harness the forces of alchemy, and make powerful allies to battle Evermore's diabolical monsters. What's more, his dog masters shape-changing to aid in the quest. But, even if they can muster enough skill and courage, even if they can uncover the mysterious clues, they can only find their home by discovering the secret of Evermore. And this is The Secret of Evermore from Square USA and published by Squaresoft. This is a role-playing game that was released in North America on October 1995. In 1996, it was released in PAL territories like Europe and Australia. Japanese release was planned, but was ultimately cancelled because this is an American-made game. Man, I feel like it's oft overlooked, if I'm going to tell you the truth. Looks and plays very similar to Secret of Mana. We have an aerial view where we negotiate terrain and fend off hostile creatures. We are the playable boy character. Our dog is controlled by AI or vice versa. We can take refuge in caves and towns where you can regain hit points, purchase restoratives, and equipment. Upon collecting enough EXP, you can level up, which will improve your stats. We have equipment, alchemy, which takes the place of magic, checking status, which can all be done through the rotating action ring system, which you will be familiar with from Secret of Mana. The protagonist wields 4 different styles of weapons: a sword, a spear, an axe, and a bazooka. Almost all of the weapons have 4 different versions and can be powered up through increased usage. In each of the 4 worlds, the in-game currency will change, and you will have to go to money traders to trade your old currency for new currency. Most vendors specialize in one type of good, and some rare items are require extensive training. Alchemy takes the place of magic. In order to cast magic, or alchemy, you must be given an alchemic formula by one of the NPCs called alchemists that appear throughout the game. Some alchemists make their home in out-of-the-way areas and dispense rare formulas if you manage to seek them out. There are no magic points needed to cast spells. Instead, formulas require ingredients. Some are available throughout the game, others only to native environments. In the primitive region, for example, ingredients like wax, limestone, clay, and gunpowder appear. However, in the advanced realms, ingredients become more complex, such as ethanol and dry ice. The dog has an ability to sniff out ingredients by putting the nose to the ground and smelling for items. This can be done either automatically or with a control. Pardon me. This development began in 1994 in Redmond, Washington. The concept of a boy traveling with a dog through a world based on cheesy B-movies was dictated from overseas, where Squaresoft began working on the storyline. This resulted in pop culture references and dialogue that are very distinctly American. The game's associate producer and writer George Sinfeld decided that making such references would be familiar to American players. The working title for the game was Vex and the Mesmers. Producer Alan Weiss originally had the concept for a group of magic users who could tell dream stories and transport the listeners into the experience virtually. Many of the elements were copied from Secret of Mana because they'd been proven to be effective. The size of the game was an early issue, and it was decided that the game would be single-player to preserve memory because it was originally planned to be 12 megabits. However, the game would double to 24 near the end of the development. Using computer software, the game's artwork and design were mapped out by 3 animators, 4 background artists, and a 3D rendering artist. It was put together using Sage, Square's amazing graphical editor, by lead programmer Brian Fedrau. There's a lot to say about this game. Received mostly positive reviews from most media outlets. Most publications praised the graphics. Scary Larry of GamePro found the spell animations to be weak compared to those of other Square games and said the bosses are large but unimpressive. Another highlight was the gameplay, particularly the unique alchemy system and aspects also found in similar Secret of Mana, such as the ring menu. However, others found these mechanics hard to get used to. Nintendo Power praised the graphics, sound, play control, story, and variety, but criticized it for an awkward battle system and simple AI. Although the quality of the musical compositions and sound effects were praised, Scary Larry complained the player character's dog constantly barked. Not a whole lot. Super Game and GamePro both found the game was not up to standards of the other games. Victor Lucas of Electric Playground praised the game and said that while it didn't reach the heights of Chrono Trigger or Final Fantasy VI, it was highly enjoyable. Mega Fun argued that it was on par with graphics nearly as good. Others argued that it was a decent first attempt by the American team. Game Players anticipated another game from the same team, and a critic for Next Gen said that while the game suffered from a number of amateur mistakes, as a debut title for a new team of designers, it points to a rosy future. Video Games praised the game as Squaresoft USA's first title and noted that while menu and control schemes were taken from previous games, its mood, story, and setting were enough to set it apart. Game Rankings gave it an 81, EGM 33 out of 40, Next Gen gave it 4 out of 5, Nintendo Life 8 out of 10, Nintendo Power 3.8 out of 5, Game Players an 88, M Game 79, Game Fan 82, Superplay 81, Electric Playground 8 out of 10, Nintendo Asion 93, Video Games 85, and Megafun 87. I like this game very much. I think I might own a copy of it. I can see some of the critiques being legit. It doesn't feel quite as polished as another game probably would have if this had been made in the main Square HQ. Probably would have come out a little more shiny on the inside. But other than that, I think the story is great. I think the dialogue is great. There is nothing I can find wrong about this game.